One of the things the legislature did in the last session 2 years ago was adopt a bill, and the governor actually signed it into law, was a bill to allow homeschoolers in Texas to participate in extracurricular activities or UIL activities. This bill forced UIL to change their rules to allow that, but it is still a decision by the local school district. So we got somewhere between 30 and 40 school districts out of 1,000 who have now adopted that policy. And some school districts have done that willingly, early. Others have not been asked yet. So if you're in a school district that doesn't allow that and you want to see that for your children, you should approach your school board. That's a vote of the school board that actually makes that possible. And we've seen some situations where that was voted down by the school board, and in the next election, new members of the school board were elected, and the school board now voted to allow that. So that's a vote of the school board. It's a local school decision. The other thing that we're seeing is that some members haven't actually been asked about that. So that's would be the first approach. But we also have seen, as I mentioned in an earlier video, that UIL tried to adopt a rule that the TEA vetoed for the implementation of this that was perceived to be an attempt to undermine the legislation, to undermine the will of the state, the legislature, and the governor by making it very difficult for this to be implemented. As I mentioned, the TEA commissioner vetoed that rule. But as a result of that, legislators are beginning to question how to hold UIL accountable. They're not a state agency. They're under the auspices of the University of Texas at Austin, and some people are actually arguing that UIL is a kind of a law unto themselves. So recently, State Senator Mays Middleton has filed a bill to remedy this situation. It's Senate Bill 795. And this bill would actually take UIL out from under the University of Texas and actually make them a state agency. So now they are accountable to the government, to the governor, and to the legislature. And why that is happening may be as a result of some of this pushback that we've seen. In fact, Tom Bean ISD voted last year to allow homeschoolers to participate, and an action was initiated against homeschoolers that tried to participate and the school district. And in a meeting, UIL found them guilty of recruiting, quote unquote, allowing homeschoolers to participate was a violation of their recruiting process. They sanctioned these students, not allowing them to participate, and they sanctioned Tom Bean ISD for 3 years. So some people see that. In fact, the superintendent of Tom Bean ISD said this was strictly because they adopted a policy to allow homeschoolers to participate. So I'm sure that will probably come up in the hearings for Senate Bill 795 and others. So as people ask me, Tim, how do we promote this? I would just say a few things. First of all, if you're a homeschooler and want to see that in your district, you should contact the board members of the school board and ask them to adopt that policy. One homeschooler shared with us that the school superintendent told them that no other public school in our UIL district is doing this, so we're not going to do this. Well, that's really unfortunate, but the school board can actually adopt that policy. So contact your school district if you want to see that happen. If you've had some discriminatory actions, you might want to contact State Senator Mays Middleton's office and share those stories as he prepares for a hearing on a Senate Bill 795 to hold them accountable. So I hope you'll share this video. I hope you'll subscribe to our channel, and I hope you'll continue to help us keep Texas families free.